Thank you,
Did,
brother.
did
Appreciate
Patriot
it.
fans have something to say to you yesterday on Twitter?
Yeah, of course they did. You know, again, my mom has nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills in the NFL. But it's okay, guys. I know it's football.
Please.
It's
We're going
entertainment.
to talk about your Bills right now. It's time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Let's do it. The quarterback of that squad, Josh Allen, had 10 touchdowns his rookie season, but he did throw more picks than TDs, 12 interceptions. He was sacked 28 times, and Allen spoke yesterday about learning from his mistakes over the offseason.
It's staying hungry. You know, I know that there's a lot of things that I missed on last year. A lot of dumb plays going back and watching film that just were like, why did I do that? What was I thinking? But learning from those and then going into next season and trying to apply what I've learned onto the field.
And Rob, I love hearing this from Josh Allen. He's being very self-critical, and he's taking it really seriously. What do you make of the comments?
Yeah, I mean, it's showing that he's growing up. He's maturing. The biggest, the judge of the success of a quarterback or of any player is the biggest jump from year 1 to year 2. And if this guy can take ownership of this offense, I mean, the sky's the limit for this Buffalo Bills offense. He has to find a way to tie that maturity that he's talking about and, self-evaluation to his raw ability. And I thought just too many times last year, he just made dumb, bad decisions. Like that play we just saw, that interception. Throw the ball away, man. You live to fight another day. If he can get these things out of his play, I mean, this kid has a big, strong arm. They have a run game. They've taken care of the line of scrimmage. This team can win the division. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to continue to say it as long as I'm on this screen.
How does he minimize these mistakes? Not throwing the ball downfield, right? More intermediate passes? Like, what do you expect to see from him?
Yesterday we had a segment, and we talked about, the Buffalo Bills can make the playoffs if. Yeah. And I said the Buffalo Bills can make the playoffs if Josh Allen checks the ball down some. Again, you never go broke taking a profit, guys. Look downfield. You have the strong arm. You can fit it anywhere on the field. Oh, they might have it covered. Check it down to Shady. Check it down to Frank Gore. Check it down to one of those tight ends crossing. And again, you move the ball down the field. It's about getting first downs. Check downs, get your first downs. First downs, get your touchdowns.
There's so many quarterbacks come in the league with arrogance, hubris. We've seen people walk into Buffalo who thinks their bleep don't stink and they don't make mistakes. I love this quote from Josh Allen. I made dumb plays. Yeah, I was a rookie on Buffalo. We didn't have a great team. I made dumb plays, and we're running these highlights of him making bad throws. It's very easy to forget that Troy Aikman was 1 in 15 as rookies in the Hall of Fame. And sometimes we need a reminder to look back at some of these demigods we see now, these Hall of Famers.
Let's do it.
You know how dumb their plays were when they were young? Speaking of which, let's go to Tom Brady in 2001, this magical run-in for Bledsoe. Stands there forever, drops the ball, looks like a statue. The guy out of Michigan who was too slow. Mike, come on.
Take up, Brady.
That's training camp stuff. Brady's the greatest football player in history, I believe. And look at this. This is him as a young man making dumb plays. Jason Taylor all the way to the Hall of Fame.
He fell pretty.
Drew Brees didn't make mistakes, though, did he? He did fall pretty. Everything he does is pretty. It's just not good. Did Drew Brees make mistakes? How about as a first-year starter in 2002? That's that beautiful, high-arcing, not even there. Just wasn't there. Guys, Drew Brees, you think he's a perfect player now who's a master of the game? It's a bad play. Hold on to the ball. The rush is closing in. If I'm Josh Allen, if I'm a Bills fan, I take heart in this, especially from Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest, most talented players we've ever seen. First year as a starter after a long wait on the bench, by the way. Allen was a first-day starter. Rodgers sat around and marinated and is still getting strip sacked. He's still throwing bad picks over the middle. He was making dumb plays just like everybody else. So if you're in Western New York, if you're a fan of Darnold, Allen, Baker, all these guys are going to the Hall of Fame, and they made really dumb plays too. Take heart. The only mistake is not acknowledging it. Josh Allen's ahead of the game.
I love that. We looked at all those highlights even before those old quarterbacks, and I feel like Sam Darnold and Allen and Lamar Jackson can really learn from that and how much they can grow in that second year. But out of all of those guys, the sophomores, and I know that I talked about the Jets a lot last year, and Sam Darnold, what's going to happen because he has Le'Veon Bell and a coach who's really interested in making quarterbacks better and excel. I still think it's Josh Allen, and I don't know if it's because it's osmosis and I'm sitting next to you, but what you're saying about what Josh Allen can do, he can only do that if he's given the artillery, and he has been. They have an offensive line rehaul. They're going to protect Josh Allen. You look at what they added, John Brown, Cole Beasley, who we saw how effective and what a helpful tool he was for Dak Prescott down there in Dallas. So if you're looking at the fact that this entire offensive line has 4 new starters, loaded backfield, Frank Gore, Devin Singletary, I think Josh Allen will limit those mistakes. I think he'll have many more touchdowns and interceptions this year, and he will grow the most. Do you agree, or is it somebody else?
Well, I mean, just look at these highlights. Look at this athletic ability, guys.
We saw a lot of this.
We saw a lot of this. He was second amongst quarterbacks with 631 rushing yards. We talk about rushing the football at the quarterback position, you think, oh, Lamar Jackson and this. This guy was doing the same thing and nobody said anything about it. 8 rushing touchdowns. This is a weapon, a quarterback that big in the red zone. But I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson with the biggest growth. Why? Because so many people act like this guy can't throw the football, right? He can't do nothing but go up from there, right? Greg Roman, offensive coordinator, he was with the team last year, but he wasn't calling plays. Greg Roman had Colin Kaepernick out in San Francisco. He understands creativity in the run game, especially in the quarterback run game, and then tying the quarterback run game to the passing game. People don't understand. Quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, they see the field differently. I tell people all the time, when you're the fastest person on the football field and you get the snap, that takes a whole different level of responsibility because at any time, I can just leave, bro. See, people don't... People like Tom Brady, he doesn't have that ability to be able to do that, so he operates the pocket a little bit different.
Lamar can say, I'm out of here.
Lamar at any time. You know what? I don't know what I'm seeing. I'm out. It takes a huge level of responsibility, and Greg Roman is the spread quarterback whisperer, and I think he'll have the biggest overall improvement.
He's got the highest ceiling for sure. I'm going to take a risk on this against my better judgment. The guy who's going to make the biggest leap, I'm going to go with Josh Rosen, just because he's probably starting from the lowest.
I have to hear
All right,
this.
This is what we call Mike.
Okay. Let me hear this.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of things working against this argument.
Yes.
He's going to a team that has pretty much a comparable supporting cast he had in Arizona.
Nothing.
He's got a first-year head coach who's defensive-minded. It gets better. He's got a first-year offensive coordinator, Chad O'Shea, who I'm hoping is Danny's brother, Kay. And on top of that, my bottom line is this. You can't overestimate. Somebody just need to Control-Alt-Delete. You need a clean reset, okay? He goes in the draft in Arizona. It was a terrible year. They abandoned him for maybe a better talent. He moves physically on the other side of the country with a whole new environment. He still is the guy last year they said was the most pro-ready, the best pure passer. I just think between the ears, a full fresh start with Ryan Fitzpatrick in the room and Patriots brain trust in the coaching staff. I still believe in Josh Rosen's talent. I think he has the most to gain because he started the lowest. That's all.
To your point.
What do you think?
I've talked to guys that's been around Josh Rosen.
What do they got? All right, this is good.
And what he needs to do is win that locker room.
Okay.
Like, forget, he can throw the football, right?
It's a personality.
It's a personality thing.
What do they say about him?
Hey, come on, man, I can't.
No, I mean, just talking broad strokes. I'm not saying to name names.
All I'm saying is he has to understand that everybody isn't from the same areas. He has to win the locker room. Playing the quarterback position is also part public relations.
Okay.
You have to be able to hang out with a lot of different groups, right? Win the locker room, Josh, and you'll be fine.
It's such an art, right?
It is, man. That's why they get paid so much money.
that I haven't heard anything from him this whole time. I think he handled the situation with what happened with Kyler Murray really well. I think that earned him some respect among his peers.
Well, no, you gotta go through the fire with those guys to earn respect.
Totally understand that, but I think that it could have been. I don't think he gets any credit for how he handled that situation.
He got a job. That's credit.
Yeah. It was a nice trade, low risk for the Dolphins, and we'll see what they get. But I do like, even now, very little. I think he wants to
work,
which is all I care about, what I want to see.
Yeah, we're always fascinated about how to win the locker room. In case you and I were not in the NFL locker room. Let me just ask you one question about your career. You played with Russ. Russ is maybe a unique personality.
Yeah.
How did he do it?
Well, again, with Russ, when we won our Super Bowl, he was so young, right? It's like the dominant personalities kind of ruled the locker room.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Myself, Big Red Bryant, Leon Washington,
But
all
you
those guys.
respected the young guy?
And yeah, we respected him. He's our quarterback. He was our guy.
But why would they might not respect Rosen?
Yeah,
He's
Rosen's
young.
young
He's the
too.
quarterback. Like, what does he have to do that maybe Russ did?
Well, first of all, coming from another team, coming from the Arizona Cardinals, another pro team, right? And then being the fact that he was a first-round pick and then it didn't go well, right? He didn't play well, right? Obviously, the team wasn't that good, but he didn't play well. Then you hear stories of, things with guys in the locker room and things like that. You just don't want it to carry over to his new team. I don't want to go too deep.
I hear you.
You tried, Barbara Walters.
I know. I see.
Diane Sawyer over here is trying to get it.
Mike Wallace.
So, we'll see what happens with these quarterbacks. We cannot wait, of course. And I think I'm going to do some quarterback rankings for fantasy.
What do you got?
I don't know. Calm down. Not right now.
I need it. I'm terrible
I just
at
think
fantasy.
I'm going to do it. I'm very curious to see where guys like Lamar Jackson will end up, because I think they're huge values to be had on draft day. How about this guy? Where do I draft him?
Okay, I'm thinking about taking him over Ertz.
You can't take him over Ertz.
All right.
It's Carson Wentz and Ertz.
That's good.
But he's going that way.
Okay, what about
Crazy.
Kelsey?
I don't know. Which one's going to be Rob Gronkowski? Is it too much of a question? Too big of shoes?